Hello everyone, Jackie Bluhm here. How are you? Give me just a second to get that camera on my computer going and say hi if you're out there. Thank you as always, my peeps, for shopping with me. Keeps me going. And how's your weather today? Ours is a little overcast, but it's supposed to be in the 70s, so we'll see if it burns off or not. Come on, camera. Come on. It's always fun to sit and watch your computer and say, what am I supposed to do now? Anybody relate to that? Okay, still waiting. Some days are better than others, you know? Okay, where am I? This is the new catalog, if you hadn't noticed. And now I can open it, which is all these little tabs that I'm going to show you in just a second. So I had my open house last Saturday, and I thought I would show you some of the artwork that I kind of took out of the catalog and either made it my own or borrowed from other inspiration, that kind of thing. Okay, where am I and why aren't I here? Still not showing me. Okay, well, let's try it one more time and then we'll just keep going and see what happens. There I am. Oop. And now I just lost it. Where did I go? Oh, Facebook. Gotta love it, right? Oh my gosh, I did see it for a second. And then it was gone. Alright, well, if you're out there and you see my video, please let me know that I am indeed broadcasting, because it does not look like it. Okay, one more second. I'm going to refresh and then we're going to start. Okay. Weird that it showed it to me for a second. There I am. Okay, I don't want that. Sorry, I'm just trying to get it bigger so I make sure I stay on track. And oof, lots of glare today. Sorry about that. Okay, so new catalog. And let's start on this page, which I thought this was a really cool idea. And the first card I made, I kind of liked and I kind of didn't. So that was my take of it. What do you think? And then I got a better idea, because, you know, you always start with some ideas. And I think this one looks a little closer, and I just put strips onto this new rectangle tag that we got, rather than doing them this way with some white in the middle, okay? So there's where I got that idea from. Cute, cute. Next is this idea here. Where is it? Hold on, I gotta find my card. I just took that idea and made my own. Similar but different colors, different pieces here, that kind of thing, okay? And if you didn't know, we're talking about this set today. And this is page 41, Playful Packaging Bundle, Stampin' Dies, okay? Let's see, what's the next one? The next one is an extra card. This is the stamp set. That was the bundles. This is the stamp set. They also have a section that's dies. Don't ask me. But there's another idea right there for you. And then, if you want to know the paper that I'm using today, it is right back here. And it is this one right here, which is the Beautiful Ordinary Life. It's 12 by 12. So that's the one that I'll be showing you today and making a card with. And then the other one that I first made is this one here, which is Painted Patterns, 12 by 12. You can get this in all of our subtles, brights, all of our paper packs, plus basics, which would be great to have, especially if you like polka dot and stripes. And then they have the in color for this year, 26 through 28, but they do not have it this is the first year that they started doing this format rather than 6x6. So they don't have it for last year's colors because they went out, or the current last year's colors that'll go out next year. Oi. Okay. All right. Let's get that out of the way, and I'll show you a couple more ideas here. Oops, I get everything crooked. This idea I didn't quite do right, but I was kind of in a hurry. But this is just a little album with a little mountain and valley fold. I should have cut these two pieces off so it would be like that. And these are 3x4 flip-flaps, and this idea was from Rebecca Santos. So thank you, Rebecca. All right, and one more. This is a gift for someone. This is what we used to call in the old days, I don't know if they still do, paper candy. So there's a bunch of pieces in there, and there's a bunch of blank ones that you can do your own thing with. So you can replicate this little tag, or this little gifty, I don't know what you'd call it. It almost reminds me of a purse. It's a gift bag thing, right? So I've got all that in there, and I put all the words, so you can put a gift for you, just for you, thank you, those types of things, which, let me show you. Oh, here is the stamp set. You can even buy the cellophane bags that I used. I just cut mine off so it was a little smaller, as you can see, right like that. And the dies are right here, which I'll turn over so you can see better. So this one here has a little fold over, and I figured out that that's what you glue your handle and your back to. Fold it over, glue your handle on, then glue this piece on top of it, okay? I'm not using this piece today, but I am using the rest of it, or some of it, okay? All right, if you have any questions, just give me a holler. Alrighty. And another card out of that same paper pack that was just my own, that was at open house, with the pretty little olive flutter butterflies, and that one has a punch, so it makes it really easy. This is one of the scallop dies that I don't have, but I borrowed from a friend, fellow consultant, and it gets huge. It's like, I think it's 5.5 or maybe even a little bigger on the biggest one, and I don't think this is even the smallest one. So there's that. Hopefully, maybe I'll have it later, who knows. The other stamp set that I'm using today for words is this one that I just got, Relaxing Waterside, and I wanted to use Have a Great Birthday. Okay? Again, ask me any questions that you want. Today, I also use Stylish Shapes, which is still in the catalog, yay. And on the circles, I use the second of the largest circle, okay? And one more card. And this, I think, is just my idea. Poor little sick alligator. He's really yellow instead of green. Don't ask me why I did that, I don't know. Anyway, there's another card. Okay, so let's get started. So the card I want to show you, and I want to kind of show you how I came up with this idea, because I wanted to make it into a card, because it's definitely not really a card. It's supposed to go like on a treat topper, right? Or photos. So this looks a little weird, but this is what we did. So this is, and I couldn't get the little piece back, but this is cutting off the bottom part, which is this piece. So I just cut it up, tried to get it just a little bit, but it went really far, okay? So then I cut that off because I'm like, And then this is only like 4 inches instead of 4 1/4 where it actually cuts. So I cut off 1/4 inch, and I got rid of these 2 pieces, okay? Didn't like that, so I'm like, okay, I don't know. That's not gonna work. So then I took a standard card and I cut off 1/2 inch off the bottom, okay? But that kind of worked. But then I thought, well, maybe I just need to cut off the top part of the card instead. So then I decided, in figuring it all out, that I could cut off just 1/4 of an inch of that front panel. How did I do that? Pretty simple. Just take your paper trimmer, and there's lines on here. You got to make sure that you're doing the front. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to put 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to bring my blade all the way down to the bottom. And then you can see the fold line here. And there's also a little cross line here. And then you can also go up 4 inches if you want on here. I just come just where that cross is. I come just a little bit shy and check it and see what I need. So I get just that little bit of 1/4 inch. Oh, and I didn't quite do it. I'm not perfect, so we'll just cut this along here. Pretend I didn't do that. So then we got that. So then I just fold it like this and go straight off. Okay? So that's all the prep you need to do for your card. And let me show you the card that I made. Oh, and also, if you make mistakes like that, go ahead and use that extra cardstock, right? It's just cardstock. There's no reason why we can't use it. So I just cut some stuff out that I needed. All right, the card that I made is this one right here. Now, once I put this piece on, I just cut this side and this side so it didn't have that little, here, let me show you. So it didn't have that little piece right there sticking out, right? It's just a little snip there and a little snip here. I haven't done the 4 inches yet because I want to build this one, kind of show you what I did. Also on this one, you'll notice I cut out. So once I got this on, I just cut that out, okay? Now this would be really cute as a gift card holder. You could, how would you do that? Let's see if a gift card holder will fit in there, first of all. Let's grab one. Let's see, here we go. All right, so what we need to remember is we need to glue this handle on, but it's got to be able to fit in there, which it will just do if you just barely glue that onto there. So what I'm thinking is if you glued it down like this and put a stop, maybe, yeah, about like, so this is a standard card. It is still 5.5 here. It's just 4 inches on the sides. So if we were to glue right along here and put a little glue along here and then right along here, this would slip underneath of this. Well, actually, I don't see why you couldn't just do it this way. Just glue that down just on the corners, and then maybe we could just slide it in like so, right? You wouldn't have to slide it back behind here, because then you're not going to see it there. So I would definitely do it that way. So you could glue this down along the top. Just make sure you don't go too far in on either side there. Leave yourself some room here and make sure that you put a stop so it doesn't go all the way through or down to the bottom where you've got glue. So then I would just do it like this, and I'd put my stop right there, and that would work. And you'd have a gift card holder. Okay, back to what we're doing. So, got our pieces. Let me see if this is the same size. Yes, it is. All right, so let's get that out of the way for a minute. So we've got a regular standard card size base. This is from that Ordinary Something Ordinary Life. Beautiful Ordinary Life. Oh. Okay, so this piece is 4 by 2 3/4. Write that down. 4. Oh, excuse me. just wiggled my phone. So it is 4 by 2 3/4. Okay. Then these are just the 2 cutouts. This circle, like I said, is that second one from the end, which is about a 2.5 by 2.5. Get out of my way. Okay, we took a 1/4 off of this. The handle, you just make the handle. Okay, and I've got some pieces. Okay, I keep saying that a lot, don't I? All right, so what we need to do is we need to glue this down to here. But first, I want to know, and I'm going to use my grid as a guide. So I'm going to put my grid on 3 inches. Let me see if you can see that. Yes, I'm in camera. So I'm going to put my grid on 3 inches so that way I know where this needs to be. Look at this, you guys. I didn't plan this, but it just worked out. Is that not perfect? I cut this off. I had a little piece, so I just cut out a handle. I don't know how I did that. So if you want your handle all the way up to the top, then you can bring this up a little bit and get it on an even number, 7. Okay. So our handle is that big. Our paper is that big. We are going to glue our paper. I'm just marking out where my card is. We're going to glue that paper between here and here. So at 3 inches. So take your favorite glue. I love my grid paper. Comes in handy. And we're going to put it at 3 inches. All the way over to the side. Now I can take this. I'm going to put it on my big paper trimmer because I've got to cut through 2 layers. So that's all I'm going to do is just cut up next to that. So I can see where it is. Okay, cut that off. Now we can put this on down to here. Adhesive. Only put your adhesive along here because you don't want it sticking out on the 1/4 inch. I've got my little glue all. So I just put some glue here, 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 and a little bit there. So I left it away from there. So now we're just going to put it down along the bottom, like so, okay? Now, inside, that doesn't look too bad, but you could go back and put this in here if you wanted. And in this one, I only put a little strip. Which do you like better? A little bit of it or a lot of it? Could go either way. I have it, let's use it. Again, you want to do the glue the same way. Now, on here, you want to be careful that you don't go past that edge, so don't put it down too far and kind of go just a little bit up and then look. That will work. Then you can squish it down, okay? All right, and then we're going to go back and like I said, take your snips and we're just going to cut off that little bit and that little bit. So we just shored that up. So we got our little corners. Okay, now this is easier to center and it just fits up there. So then just see if you like it. It's about the same distance. Let's see. 2 and 2. Not quite, but we're going to go with it. So we're going to glue that on. I never glue anything too hard until I make sure I get it where I want it. All right, next, we are going to put this on. Now, if you run it like that, that's fine. But do you ever look at how it makes it different if you do something like that? Kind of adds more interest. This looks good, but I don't know that I want it to be that matchy-matchy. So I might just do it like that. You could also sponge it a little bit. That would make it a little bit different. Here's our words. Where's my stamp? Here's my stamp. And a black ink pad. I'm using Memento. I haven't started playing with the, what's it called? We have a new black that's kind of a hybrid, I believe is what it's called. I've got my scratch paper here because this is a new stamp. Good. What I do to new stamps to begin with is just rub them along my palm to get whatever residue might be there. And then practice stamping with them a couple of times. Looks good. So let's do this. Again, I'm lining it up. I've already lined up my block. Sorry if my head gets in the way. Straight down, straight up, give it time. You can even leave it there and it'll eventually will release. Or you can touch it out. Okay. Wash that off. Clean that up. I do not want to make a mess. All right. So now we've got our happy birthday. I think we need a little color around that, don't you? I'm thinking, let's see, what colors are in there? Here's another thing I do. Sometimes I will just go to the back of this and I will pull out all these colors and see which one I like. But for now, I'm thinking of Lost Lagoon, I think. Yeah, let's do Lost Lagoon. Hold on, I'll go grab that. Here we go. And we need a brush. Sorry it's taking me so long. Lost Lagoon. I just put mine, this is just for photos, 4x6 photos, but it works perfect. Grab the right one, bring in some scratch paper, get all of those out of the way. And I just want to add a little bit of color. And I don't know if I'm going to do both. So I'm going to take off some color, since I know this is kind of a strong color. Take a little off, sponge off the page onto the frame. I know it seems counterintuitive. You could do it on your glass mat, then you could pick that color back up. The other thing you can do is pick it up and go like this, and then you get a little stronger color of that color instead of a blended. So let's see what that looks like. That looks better. And if you want to go around this, again, I would just off the page and on the page. It's going to pick up those little nubbies, the little dots from the die. And it's going to sink into those, which is nice. But you never want to go onto it and get a really, which of course, because I want it to do it, it won't do it. A really, you know, stark white and then the color. So if you tap it off, then you're going to be a little bit better on that. Okay. Again, you could go around and just brush it on. You can go over it a little bit and give it a little bit more color. I'm just using what's left in the brush. And I don't wash my brushes out. I have one for each color, or nearly. So then I only have to buy, you know, another pack of new baby blends. All right, so that just gave that a tiniest bit of color. Let's get rid of this and this. And bring in our this again. And then you can play with it and see what you want to do, what you like best. Anybody have any? Should we go directly like that? And then I've got all these little pieces that I stamped out of this packaging piece. What is it called? Playful packaging. And I'm going to use my that. So here's something fun I do. So you get these the dots. You can use them as centers for the other flowers, or just use them as your little accents, okay? So, do we want to go matchy-matchy, or do we want to go the other? I kind of like that one. Okay, so then, because I colored that, that helps if we want the white. So then you just start building your colors where you want them. And then we'll put in the other, and I don't think I need this one. I'll use that one inside. All right, so now you got to figure out what you're going to raise, what you're not. I'm going to raise this one. I'm going to raise this one. Let me get some dots here. Anybody there? Let's see anybody. Okay. So we'll put one on there. I like to take a big one and cut it in half. This is not super huge, but I kind of just want to fan it out a little bit. I'm also not going too far to the edge so I can tuck in my flowers. So we'll just take this one off first. And I think I'm going to change that up just a little. Put that there. Here's another trick for you. You can put all three of these upside down. Okay. And then take your adhesive of choice and go right over it on your silicone mat, and it actually adds stuff to the inside of that flower. So then when you pick it up and put it on, and I'm just going to set this one. Ooh, I guess I better put this one on. That was kind of crazy. Let's see. You guys tell me if you think I should cut out around here again. I'm going to leave that one for now because I'm not sure where I want it. And I want to put this one first, so I'm going to turn this over so I can pick it up. Put that one there. Turn this one over. Come on. Pick up. Put it there. And maybe put this one. Right there. Okay, so now I've got those centers, and I can take my corresponding ones and just drop them in, providing they're on the right side. And I could have raised up one of these. Maybe we'll raise this one. So I've got my center in there, and these little baby dimensionals work perfect because it sandwiches in the center of this onto the flower. And then we just have these to go. And then you tell me if you want me to cut the one down or leave it as a card. Line up on your grid paper. That helps you to stay straight. There we go. And then we'll put this inside. With another flower. I don't have a center, so we'll just use that to give us a center. Oh, there is a white center left, but we'll leave that over here. Okay. So, what do you think? Does it need to be cut down? Or does it look okay like a card? I'm thinking maybe it needs to be cut down. So let's cut it down. So all I did was go to here and to here the stuff from cutting the last one. And now we just have to take it around. And you're just following the arch of that paper without cutting it. Stay on the outside. It's thin paper, so be careful. Just take your time. And the longer you can get the scissor to cut, the less notchy you're going to be, which I'm probably going to be pretty notchy. Let's see how she looks. And this side is always harder because I can't see where I'm going. There we go. All right, not too bad. You can trim it up if you want. There we go. And you can add some bling if you want. It doesn't look too bad. It's a little bit. So we'll just trim that off just a little to make it a little smoother. Sorry, I know. I get whisper. There. So, I think this one needs some gems. Let's see what we've got. I think that was Flirty Flamingo. I'm just going to pull out some stuff. I forget what's in that paper pack. Let's see what they have. Ordinary Beautiful. They have those dots. Array of dots. Let's see where those are. Hold on 1 second. Array of dots is right here. So these are the ones that go with the paper pack. And I don't know if you want to take all this time, but I put what catalog it's in, what suite it's in, what page number. That just makes it easier for me to tell you what to do, where to find it, and all that good stuff. So, kind of like those blue ones. What do you like? I don't know. Let's see. Clean up my mess. Pull out this one. And this is where a lot of times I'll just kind of set this on here. I think I should use the light, the dark, and maybe the pink. Not so much the yellow, because it's just right there and it doesn't look quite the same to me. But the pink is good. So, I'm going to kind of mimic that one. There's one there. And the other thing you can do is just barely set it down, and then you can kind of see what you like. And choose a different color. And I didn't put another flower there, so I really like the dark ones the best. So let's do one there and one there. Okay, that's what we're doing. So next week I'll show you a couple of more cards that I made from open house, and we will have some more fun next week. So card 1, card 2, which one do you like better, and which one, or will you try this? I think it was a great little card, and let me know if you put a gift card in there. Love to know. Hope you have a great day, great weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and I will see you next Friday. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.